Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got REYNOR in the bottom left side of the map playing a big best of 5, round 1 of the knockout bracket, up against HARSTEM up here in the top right. HARSTEM representing the Shopify Rebellion, REYNOR representing Basilisk. REYNOR flying to this event. I know he had a fever before he flew to the event, but he tested negative for COVID, so he was like, screw it, I'm going! And he went, and I think he was feeling a lot better at this event, so I think he will be able to bring some A-tier ZvP. That being said, REYNOR hasn't practiced much leading into the event, and in general, a player who is very reliant on banelings and rolling them into mineral lines for a long time. I do think REYNOR, at his most scariest, is when he figures out kind of his opponent's habits, right? And starts to take advantage of them. The scariest REYNOR is a REYNOR equipped with Lambo-esque timings, some really good queen walks, some nice big mass roach shoves. But he very rarely does that unless he's been practicing a lot. REYNOR, when he hasn't been practicing, defaults to a very standard style of ZvP. And that's something where I think HARSTEM, normally a massive underdog in this matchup, but recently being well practiced, on form, having some good results. He beat REYNOR in a weekly cup a few weeks ago. He definitely has a shot. It's still going to be a tough one to kind of stitch together, though, because REYNOR's just so hard to get out of the game. I feel like even when you're ahead against REYNOR, similar to Dark, they both have this ability to micro roaches and ravages and just pick units off, shoot, pull back, and kind of find what they can do. As soon as I do start casting a REYNOR game, there's always the comment in chat, I thought REYNOR only played League of Legends. Definitely on his stream, yeah, he was just chilling on his stream, playing League of Legends, wasn't streaming a lot of StarCraft the last month or so. I don't know if he was not practicing StarCraft, because he was still playing a fair few tournaments here and there, but definitely not the 8-hour-a-day grind you'll see a guy like REYNOR do leading into a big $500,000 tournament when he's really just sacrificing his social life to become a no-life StarCraft god. HARSTEM's still been pretty prolific with content creation recently, so I think that's what's most impressive to me about HARSTEM's recent upswing in performance is it's not like we're seeing a reduction in the amount of YouTube videos he's making. I think he has been streaming a bit less, HARSTEM, but his YouTube has been as active as ever, still putting out a video every day. His HARSTEM Casts channel still being pretty active, so the fact he's gotten so good despite that is very impressive to me. Yeah, Zerglings take out a probe, good trade for a single Zergling. Spores going down 1 in each mineral line, that's interesting, very safe. 7 queens and 3 spores? Huh. This Phoenix first play. It's not a bad way to play, but it's definitely a lower impact style that does give the Zerg a bit more of a free pass to the later stage. And just gets a single drone, gets in, gets out. 3 queens and a spore, a bit too much defense. Good respect by HARSTEM to back out of that. Oh, HARSTEM's going second Stargate Forge. My man's playing Skytoss, ladies and gentlemen. The Forge is there for cannons if needed for defense. And then he's just going to go, is it 2-star Phoenix? Yeah, 2-star Phoenix. Wow, okay. So he only wants to show the 1 Phoenix, the 2 Oracles. The rest are going to bank up and then fly across with a big mass of them. Evo Chambers on the way. REYNOR wants to play a Zergling style, and he's got a very fast 4th base. Oracles could turn on their lasers to kill that, but they don't want to risk it because the Queens might save that. It's going to get pushed back by those Queens. HARSTEM knows what he's up against. It's definitely going to be a heavy Zergling opening. Phoenix aren't good against the Zerglings themselves. They should be good against the Queens and the drones, not to mention any Overlords they find in the open. Adepts waiting in the south. If he sees the Zerglings arrive on his side of the map, that's going to be the trigger to send these Adepts in. But he's going to have a poke already ahead of time. Only gets 2 drones in total, and I think one of those might be taken by the Oracle. Unit cell stab looking pretty healthy there. Twilight +1 on the way. Oh, are we going to see a Charge Archon follow-up? Okay. Looks like a Charge Archon follow-up to this 2 Phoenix opening. 2-star Phoenix. Robo's building now in the natural as well. So the first 6 Phoenix will go across the map. That's not a big Phoenix count. That's not enough to fight the Queens, that's for sure. This is more of a, I'm going to just pick off some drones, try to grab Overlords here or there wherever I can. And if the Queens all pull to defend the Phoenix, does mean the Oracles could have a party. Oh, look how many Overlords there are in the middle. REYNOR. Uh-oh, REYNOR's in a bit of problem right now. That is a lot. The Phoenix aren't fighting properly. Oh, HARSTEM. Lacking that Rotterdam-esque micro. Could have definitely picked off a few more Overlords and drones here, but still good damage nonetheless. Hasn't really lost any of these Phoenixes. The Oracle's just derping in there. Oh no, he almost loses them. Harstem's got to keep it together, mate. He's got to keep it together. He's got a bunch of Zealots defending that base charge, Templar Archives, and he's going to go up to 5 or 6 gateways. Finally does lose himself a Phoenix. I mean, first kill for Reynor. Reynor's on 80 workers. I think Reynor defends this just fine. He's got an infestation, +1 melee almost done, Overlord speed building. Harstem is going to have a big struggle defending a 4th base, which is why he's still building Immortals, Archons, and Charge on 3. Phoenix pulling back right now. He could pick up some Zerglings since he's got a lot of energy. 7 Phoenix seems to be where he's stopping, so just one big squad of Phoenix for harassment, not that much else. Zealot, Adept hanging out, doing what they can. Phoenix going to come in on the south, try and pick off some of these drones, but just a single one is the safe bet. Overlord, nice, gets an Overlord. 3 spores in the main. I mean, he's also forced 12 spore crawlers, so there's a lot of indirect damage. But the thing is, Reynor's economy is so massive that unless you can punish him right now with a big ground push, which if he had like a Zealot Archon timing, it might have been able to kill Reynor. But Reynor's got amazing creep, good map vision. He's now going into Roaches. He's also going straight to Broodlords, which I love that style. So he's actually planning a Broodlord transition. I've been very critical of Reynor. I always say Reynor never makes Hive Tech in this matchup. He just sits on Lair Tech all game, even when it's clearly going to late game. And then he waits until he loses 3 or 4 fights before he makes Broodlords. But in this case, he clearly understands there's nothing he's going to get done on Lair Tech, and he's just racing to the late game. Such a smart move. And it's something where, you know, I always like being proven wrong. Whenever I put a player in a box, I say Reynor just is going to make Banelings and Zerglings and Ravages and do nothing else all game. He'll do that for 20 minutes before he thinks about Broodlords or Lurkers. And get, you know, if I get up on my high horse, he's quick to shut me down. And that's exactly what Reynor's done here very nicely. Greatest Buyer starting at 8 minutes 40. That means he can make Broodlords before the 10-minute mark. And Harstem's ground army is going to struggle against that. Because if you can bring your queens with this amazing creep spread, that's going to be huge. Phoenix taking some damage. Gets 2 drones. But how the hell do you deal with these Broodlords? You're going to need to go Blink, and that's just not something he's thinking about right now. Harstem does not make Blink. He's got 2 Forges, which I do like. The armor upgrade's going to be very useful against the Broodlings and the Zerglings. Phoenix goes down. A couple of Banelings would be nice. Let's get 3 or 4 of them. Army in the south trying to clear some creep, but oh god, Harstem! Harstem caught with his pants down! Oh, he's actually kind of lucky, I think, that Reynor backed off. Good reaction speed by Harstem, though. Hats off to him for doing that. And it does feel like these Zerglings looking for an opening. Any holes a goal? Ain't finding nothing just yet. 6 Corruptors on the way. Greatest Buyer's almost done. +3 melee, Adrenal Glands. +1 range almost finished. 10 Queens with Mass Transfuse combined with Broodlords. I mean, if he can morph them in the middle of the map, I don't know how Harstem defends that. If he starts Blink right now, or a bunch of Void Rays maybe to focus down the Broods, that could be great. Oh, I think Reynor missed the Bile, because that Oracle didn't react very quickly and it still didn't die. There's a lot of stasis traps everywhere. I love the preservation of those Oracles from the early game. He's going to get himself a couple of Ravages. Transfuse says no. Oh, he's trying to force a fight right now. Right, another Phoenix does go down. Where are those Broods, guys? Broods are morphing defensively. War Prism in the main, Zealots coming in, but look at that Spine Crawler position. Tentacles from behind the Mineral Line. Queen will go down. Zealots are going to struggle to get those spines, though, because they're walled in behind the Evo and the Minerals. Fletcher Roach Ravager comes back. Lingbane rolling in. Oh, that Stasis Trap! Oh, that's what I can't call it anything else. It's a big juicy Stasis Trap. It doesn't kill the units just yet, but if you leave a few Archons on him, you're guaranteed to get it. Harstem has a 5th base going up with the Rich Cast down the bottom. This is a big macro game to start this series. I can't imagine any of these Banelings killing anything other than the Pylon, and they are all going to die. And there we go. Does drop a Storm just to make sure. Pylon goes down, but a good bunch of Banelings. 50% extra efficiency for Harstem as he goes into 2nd Stargate Fleet Beacon. +2 ground armor, +3 ground attack. A few more Corruptors are being built. Ultra Cavern as well, +3 melee, +1 Carapace. I like the Ultra Brood, not Ultra Broodlet, I like Ultra Corruptor versus Skytoss. In this scenario, Ultras are a terrible unit right now, but if those Immortals trade out. That's when you want to build Ultras. If Reynor builds Ultras before the Immortals are dead, I won't be very happy with that. I'll be very critical. He knows there's a lot of Immortals in this army, and they are the hard counter unit. But I do like having the tech ready and available so you can swap back into it after a big trade. Oh, where's the rest of the army? Oh, he knows Harstem's afraid. He doesn't even support this. This is literally 6 Broodlords and 10 Queens. The rest of his army's going south. Intercepting Zealots, I like it. Now remember, guys, +2 melee there. Looking pretty good on those Broodlings for their damage output. They do 6 damage in attack right now. Archon Immortal coming on forwards. We've got the Broodlings working on those Zealots. Zealots in the north as well. Phoenix in the south. Archon Immortal hanging out. Tempests are on the way. HARSTEM going to go for the long-range counter for those Broodlords. Hard to keep them safe against Corruptors, though. Ooh, all those Zerglings are ruining him. Uh-oh. HARSTEM's got to pull back here with his ground army, but the Broodlords are close behind. The Lings are on top of him. Zerglings going after those probes. Reynor doing his best to tear down as many of those as he can. He does kill 16 workers. Oracle flies into the Queens. It goes down. The creep spread is dominating right now. It's a big part of why HARSTEM's feeling kind of helpless. And I'd actually love to see HARSTEM throw these Phoenix away. I think they're a trash unit at this point. Get rid of some of the Zealots. Get rid of some of the Phoenix. Maybe get rid of some of the Immortals even, as they're not the most useful unit right at this moment. Purple gas base under attack. Big Storm ambush! Oh, Storm Arc on Phoenix getting some big damage. Tempest starting to lay waste to those Broodlords. The Phoenix will go down. Tempest pick off a couple of them, but good pullbacks behind the mid-game, middle of the map spores. Nexus goes down as well as another 13 probes. Zealots do take out a hatchery on the Zerg side of the map. Reynor maintains a more impressive income. HARSTEM's still on 4 bases though. He's still on 60 workers. He's not in a crazy spot of bother just yet. Broodlords will deal with the Zealots over on the Zerg side of the map. The Roach Zergling gonna have to run out of here now. And Reynor does realize, okay, your army's here, I'll back off. Lings try to dance around the north. They finally get taken out by those High Templar auto attacks. Ultras are building. There are still 8 Immortals. I said I'd be scathing. Well, as long as he doesn't fight where the Immortals are, they can still be good. So if you use those as a little backstab squad, did a mineral line, that's great. It's a little early to go into the Ultras. That's for sure. I think more Corruptors to dive the Tempest. If you get about 13 Corruptors is probably fine. He's going to go for 12, so that's a good count. Mama's on the way right now for HARSTEM. Zealots in the north, Zealots in the south. Both Reynor is aware of. He's hiding the Ultras. Do you see that, guys? He was about to show the Ultras and he quickly pulled them back, let the Roach Ravager run forward. Ah, okay. So Reynor realized he doesn't want to show the Ultras. Does he realize how many Immortals are still in this army, though? I wonder how Cyril keeps his form in the military time. Luckily, Cyril's joining the Finnish military 2024, doing his mandatory service. It's much shorter than career in a lot of other countries. And they do have a professional athletes unit, which I've heard rumored that he's being accepted into. So he'll still be able to compete in tournaments. Ooh, Nexus does get denied there. The only problem is he's going to miss Dallas while he's at boot camp, apparently. Because boot camp is non-negotiable, I believe. But the rest of the time, he can kind of take breaks for tournaments and still travel and practice and all sorts of stuff. So, sounds like it's a pretty chill military service. Uh-oh, watch out for the Vipers. Ooh, gets an abduct, but the second one doesn't quite get off. The feedback saves the day there for HARSTEM. Tempest microing in and out. The Corruptors coming forwards. I honestly don't know who's ahead in this scenario. 4 High Templar. If those go down, Reynor can definitely cause him problems. He's going to look for a bit of a counterattack, though. The Ultras boost through the speedy zone. Mama cloaks up. Tempests are here. Army north. It's a lot of cannons. A few Zealots behind it. Meanwhile, Tempest trying to pick off the Broodlords. But oh no, they get caught out. HARSTEM getting ambushed there. Loses a couple Tempests. He's got that base taking big damage as well. The Immortals come up, but the Roaches, the Ultras, the Ravagers sneak out of there. Units lost up 5,000 resources in favor of Reynor. These early Broodlords have caused so many problems for Kevin. Oof. Two Immortals in the middle of the map. Not sure if that's a conscious decision or not. He has seen Ultralisk, so he's going to need to start splitting an off squad. A few Immortals and Archons are now in an off squad, off-leaning squad in the north of the map. Their job is to try to deal with any backstabs while the main army's on the other side. Got to be careful, though. He doesn't have any High Templar. Another Tempest, I think, just got picked off. HARSTEM has lost 3 Tempests. Mama is still alive. He needs observers. He's got to get rid of this creep. This is a huge problem. He's only got one observer. If he doesn't replace the observers, Reynor's going to win off creep spread alone. Reynor just has way too much vision. 25 Spore Crawlers in the middle of this map supporting as well. Well, the Immortals, if they focus fire, the Ultras do well, but they were shooting Zerglings for a little bit. Oh, this is a pretty close fight, but I think the Immortals will come out on top. That Archon's going to go down, though. But nice victory there for HARSTEM, taking out a bunch of those Ultras. 5,000 resources behind the units lost still. Not great for him by any means. Especially now as Reynor has the economy advantage with Neuroparasite and more Infestors being built. Infestors are very good versus Immortal Archon. These units have 3 range and 6 range for Archons and Immortals respectively. And if you can Neural them and turn them against their own units, I believe Infestor Neural is about 7 or 8 range. That could be very effective. Spores here, spores here. Like we said, 25 spores across the map. Mass links around! Oh, Reynor catches HARSTEM! And that's why you need a High Templar or 2 with that army. If you don't have Psystorm, you're screwed. Oh, man. Oh, that is a big, big issue. Zealots here trying to do what they can. Archon's trying to get damaged. Uh-oh. HARSTEM needs an Observer, and he needs to set up that off-lane army again, but with Storm. Clear out the top, and then defend the south. But he's going to lose the Rich Gas base. At least he gets a cancel down. Gets a partial refund, but HARSTEM needs to find value, and right now he's struggling. Oh, no! The probes rallying to that Rich Gas base. And at this point, I think HARSTEM might just be thinking about going all in. He's got 6 High Templar. I would like him to have 8 High Templar for pretty much unlimited Psystorm. 8 Immortals is probably fine. That's enough. 7 Tempest. Yeah, he needs so much Psystorm to defend the Tempest, though. The problem is, he's got to defend the Tempest with Storm from the Corruptors. And that's what's very difficult. Because if you lose those, you're in the doo-doo. Yeah. He's morphing pure Archon. I get Archon's can defend. He's got 1 High Templar. Okay, 1 High Templar really helps. Full energy High Templar, hard to see it because we've got those damaged health bars on. An energy bar is full. It is no longer considered damaged. We don't get to see it. This is not Reynor's favorite sort of game. You know Reynor's getting a little bit bored right now. HARSTEM has slowed the pace of the game down a little bit. But I think Reynor's actually... No, I don't think he's bored. I think that's a bit disingenuous for me to... Well, not disingenuous, but it's incorrect for me to say that. The reason is, if you think about it, he's got creep outside his opponent's base. He's picking away at him. He's trading better. You can feel that you're winning this game as Reynor. You got a big bank building up. Like, yeah, you might be a little bit eager to finish it and really press your advantage. But I don't think he's upset or anything like that, going, "Ah, come on, I'm bored. This is stupid." With his recent performances, I've got to imagine HARSTEM must be inundated with comments. People saying, "Why don't you just stop doing, you know, content and just be a full-time pro again?" I wonder, actually, because I mean, maybe he doesn't, because HARSTEM's never said, "Oh, I'm stepping back from pro play." He's always been a very competitive player, but he's just on such an upswing at the moment. There's probably just a lot of rejoicing from his fans. I know I'm very happy as a HARSTEM fan, just seeing him play so well. This game not gonna be part of that story though, unless he can make some magic happen. He's got a, I mean, he can definitely win the game, but he's not got a big bank. He doesn't have a lot of room to work with, so he's really got to out micro Reynor here or find some very good value. But I mean, I like that he's cleared the creep in the north. That's the beginning. But that's a problem. Every time this happens, such expensive capital ships going down. The Oracle goes down. Doesn't even get the Corruptor for revenge. At least he does have the Tectonic destabilizers. Oh, Fungal comes forward. He's even going to neural 2 of these Tempests. Oh, one of them got recalled. The other one does go down. I was wondering, I was like, is that going to finish recalling? I think the neural connected just after he activated recall. I think if you try to recall a unit that's being neuraled, I don't think it gets recalled because it counts as an enemy unit, I believe. If anyone actually knows how that interaction works, let us know in the comments. Oh, watch out for the oh my god, the steals on the Immortals is big. The steals on the Immortals was big. He stole 2 of the 4 Immortals. And now the Ultras are doing really well. Oh, and the Immortals kill the enemy Immortal as well. Did he do it again though? Oh, he goes for a Fungal. Tries to go for another Neural. The Immortals taking massive shots on their own Immortals. Delicious play there by HARSTEM. And the Ultras will clean that one up. By REYNOR, sorry, I mean. I'm like, the guy who's stealing the Immortals, not the guy who built the Immortals, the guy who's using them to kill the other guy. It's almost 10,000 resource loss difference. I think as long as REYNOR is playing, why are you hitting yourself, why are you hitting yourself, why are you hitting yourself, he's feeling very confident. HARSTEM has never really stopped the flood. It feels like he started bleeding and he's never stopped the bleeding. It's kind of like it's just getting out of control, and every time, now that he's lost map control and momentum, REYNOR's so confident, he's finding openings. Look at this. He's darting in with Broodlords. They're not even protected by anything right now. But he's just got, okay, he's got the Corrupted Viper there, and that's what he's worried. Oh, that's what you gotta be worried about. Abducting a couple Tempests. Doesn't quite kill the Oracle, but that's okay, as long as he gets the Broodlords out of there. And oh, he gets another Abduct down. Dude, does lose a Broodlord, but that's totally fine. Lose a couple Broods. You've killed so many Tempests. Corruptors are just going to dive in again. As we said, the Storm and the Archons is what has to defend your Tempests from the Corruptors. It's easier said than done. I would like to see REYNOR a little bit more forward on his mining, taking these forward bases to deny future mining from HARSTEM. Something I've talked about many times over the years. Once your opponent's full turtling, you really do want to make sure you do that, but REYNOR's just been purely focused on efficiency this game. So he doesn't care too much. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm running out of mining at home, I'll move it forward. 10,000 more resources in the bank, and you've traded almost 10,000 resources more efficiently. It's a good feeling. HARSTEM still got a random Phoenix flying around the map. This is feeling like a lost cause for HARSTEM. This is a very unexciting way to start the series. I'll be honest, this is the most boring sort of PvZ. Protoss is kind of hanging in there, but he's not really making any plays. And the Zerg's like, okay, I'll just wait for you to step forward, win a fight, wait for you to move out of position, do a run by. It's just because, like, you can feel the Zerg is winning, but also he's like, well, I'm not going to finish it. And it's not that REYNOR's playing with his food. It's just, it's a more cautious approach where you're waiting for the right opportunity. You know, I often give the analogy of two counter-strikers in a boxing match waiting for the other guy to throw a punch. And you basically have two guys circling each other for, you know, half an hour or more. And very few punches are thrown. And they're like, no, no, no. Whoever goes first loses. I don't think that's necessarily the case in ZvP. But if you're playing cautiously, it can feel like whoever goes first loses. Whoever steps forward gets hit by the enemy spells and takes a big amount of damage. Zealots do go down. Thank God Blizzard changed the game so we don't have boring 20-minute games anymore when Legacy came out. Hashtag sarcasm. Yeah, I mean, this is not a very exciting one, but ZvP's had this issue for a while. Thank God we got rid of the Void Ray meta. Blizzard left us with 3 Void Ray buffs in 2019 with their last official patch before the community took over. And, yeah. It was a pretty sorry state. But at least we don't see this sort of game very often. It's a lot more common with Europeans. That's why I love the Korean players. They very rarely let this sort of game happen. Oh, the Neural Ambush. The Neural Ambush. 4 Immortals being focus fired on his own other Immortals. Oh, man. Guys, it turns out the counter to Immortals is taking the enemy Immortals and making them shoot each other. REYNOR with a delicious engagement says, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? It's hilarious because it's not that REYNOR's that small a guy, but I still think of REYNOR as being a pretty small kid since he's been a child for most of the time that I've known him. Whereas Kevin's, you know, a bit closer to my age and he's like 6'4" or 6'5". But the only image I'm getting right now is the little Italian guy has got HARSTEM, the big Dutchman, in a headlock, and he's just kind of slapping him in the face with his own arm and going, why are you hitting yourself, Kevin? Why are you hitting yourself? HARSTEM's thankfully taking it with good humor as he would. I can imagine HARSTEM with a wry smile on his face, kind of shaking his head and going, yep, I just got dicked, man. That's a way to announce yourself at the start of the series. REYNOR looked on point from start to finish, and a clean, easy victory for REYNOR. HARSTEM's in the top left side. Looks like HARSTEM is sending an early probe out. So he does want to use one probe to build the wall off. The other probe to, of course, cross such a big map to get the block on the enemy hatchery. Wants to obstruct REYNOR's opening, try and delay him a little bit. This is, of course, the sort of scenario where usually a 14 hatchery would easily get down in time. Unless they send a probe across at the very start of the game. REYNOR Just going for a standard 16. Oh, 17 supply. Is he planning a pull first? No, okay. 18 supply. Oh, he wants the probe to go back in the main so he can take his natural. Guys, Reynor's doing a very weird opening. 18 hatchery. Why would you do that? That's objectively worse than 16 hatchery. He sent the drone out on time to go for his 16 hatchery. Now he's going to go for gas a little bit quicker than normal. Interesting. He's going to go straight for the spawning pool in a second. There we go. Odd opening for Reynor. Not sure exactly why he went for that later hatchery. Maybe taking a leaf out of Dark's book and just doing a random build order. But I can't really see why he wants to do it. He's not pulling off minerals onto gas for a faster ling speed or anything. Just an odd choice for Reynor here. Just focusing on that. It means the queen on the natural is going to be very delayed. As will the drone production there. Hey Pig, do you think a Gold League player could win in ZvP like that if they manage to get ahead? I imagine that style isn't too APM intensive. What style are we talking about? The style we saw in the last game? Super late game? A little bit of everything in your army? Heck no. Heck no. That's a bad idea. You're a Gold League player, you want to focus on like maybe 4 or 5 units at most. You really don't want to, you want to just focus on your macro, getting better at building stuff. I mean, obviously, I'm not here to tell you how to play the game. Do what you find fun. At the end of the day. But if someone's like, I want to improve and I just want to know the best way to improve, it's usually simplifying things and doing them well. Going to late game 5 base using double forge, cybercore upgrades, 3 stargates, 12 gateways, 2 robos, Robo Bay Tech, Storm Tech, High Templar, Tempests, Oracles for Revelation. That's like a lot of stuff going on in that late game. If you want an easy path to victory, yeah, you can just play pure Sky Toss. You can get like a few Void Rays, cannons, and then just go to carriers and batteries and you'll be fine. Just gonna shade in Pig. When will we get some Stormgate content, brother? When we're allowed to cast it? Will I cast games here on Pigcasts? I have no idea. I have no idea where I'll cast games, but we'll see where we go. And Rain is a bit oversaturated in the main. 18 workers right now. Interesting. Reynor's opening is very bizarre to me. I find this opening really fascinating. Because like I'm trying to find reasons for what he's doing, but he's just doing things a little bit different to normal for some reason. I'm not sure why. Double depth pressure is keeping him back. Force those Zerglings out. Good play for HARSTEM. HARSTEM does need an extra pylon soon with how much unit production he's doing. So I think he's going to build a pylon and then a Nexus at the 3rd. There we go. He's already queued it. 2 queens in the main. 5th queen is building. So he's got 2 queens in the main. 1 building in the natural. 2 in the 3rd. Spore's not quite done just yet. Oracle gets a creep tumor. Nicely done. And gets himself 1, 2 drones. Oh, he gets a 3rd on the way out. Nice micro. Notice how he kept the acceleration up. Or not the acceleration, the momentum, the movement speed up. He didn't let the Oracle decelerate, which is why I was able to get that 3rd drone without taking too many extra hits. Oracle's coming in without the aid of an early Phoenix this time. I like this change up. I don't mind a Phoenix at first opening getting mixed in, but I do prefer when you put the pressure on hard and early and try to keep it up. Spore Crawler there. The 2 queens in the main aren't really guarding it that well. Oracle grabs the drone, gets in, gets out. Doesn't take any damage beyond the shields. Oracle and Stalker will deny the Overlord on the high ground. Reynor's back at a perfectly fine worker position. So as much as I criticized the 18 hatchery, I was like, oh, this is a little bit weird. This other, the oversaturating the main is actually very weird, guys. He's on 20 drones in his main. His natural's undersaturated. His 3rd is now saturated. But it's a little weird just how heavy he's going on drones on these bases. It's okay to go past 16, for sure. Up to 20 workers, they're quite efficient, but you'd rather saturate this mineral line that's lacking workers first. They'll be way better. 2 drones go down. Nice harassment for HARSTEM. Oh, HARSTEM pulling out that hard stem and showing what he's made of. 5 more drones. This is really starting to stack up. And look at this. He's going to clear some creep on the front. Unfortunately, he did not get the front creep tumor there. I think he realizes that, and he's like, whoops. Whoopsie daisies. 9 drones have gone down, as well as an Overlord. No Protoss units falling just yet. And we are going to clear up that final creep tumor on the front. Not bad. HARSTEM's got a 3rd. He's going charge and +1. Overlord speed for REYNOR. That is interesting. That's a pretty quick Overlord speed. I think he may be doing the German taxi. We may see 2 Overlords, 6 Queens, and just a massive Roach Ravager coming across this map. I'm not certain. It could just be for scouting. So keep your eyes open for that. 1 Oracle goes down, another one's on the way. We've got a rowboat building right now for HARSTEM here, just pre-6 minutes. Going up from 2 gates to 4 gates. And no doubt, I'm surprised he's not building a pylon and a few more gateways, walling this one off, actually. Alright, we've got spores building in each base. Ravagers, Zerglings, all grouping up. That's a lot of Ravagers, Zergling. Yeah, he's going for it. The German taxi, 7 Queens. He's coming with 7 Queens. The Oracles see it. Oh god, HARSTEM's in trouble. 3 batteries are building, 1 in the natural. So it seems like he already had wind that this might be coming. He's got a good section of Stalkers. Zealots are not going to be that effective. Even though he's got charge, it's going to be better to get more Stalkers, more sentries. I like the Oracles on that right side. One of them's completely out of energy. One of them, though, does hunt down quite a few Zerglings. And then it dies. Uh-oh. Creep Tumor has not gone down yet. Oh! REYNOR runs up the ramp and gets force field trapped. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Battery overcharge has not gone down yet. He activates it now, realizing, okay, REYNOR's committing. REYNOR has to back off. He's already lost 3 Ravagers in a Roach. That is a big mistake there for REYNOR. Letting those Ravagers get picked off. I think he should rotate to the right. Pushing up that ramp is not working too well for him. I wouldn't mind him harassing the mineral line either. Feels like he doesn't have too much confidence in this pressure continuing. There is a bit of creep on the front. REYNOR starts Roach speed. His Queens is going to go drop in the back of the main. I'd love to see him drop behind 2 mineral lines, but the third, I guess, is relatively safe. Oh, he knows about it. HARSTEM's like, well, I saw you pick up your Queens. What else are they going to do? There's no way you're giving up and just going home this early. But if those Stalkers focus fire, that thing could be big. There's no blink, though. And REYNOR saw the Stalkers, and he quickly pulls back. Very nice defense. Immortals and Archons and +2 coming in. Okay, so now REYNOR's playing a 300 IQ mind game, guys. He's saying any sane player would drone up right now. I'm going to build a 4th, take a few gases, but I'm not going to drone up. He built like 4 or 5 drones, and all he's done since then is make more units. And look at that. Creep is denying the 3rd base. So he's just trying to make it annoying for HARSTEM. He's like, la-di-da-di, be annoying, be distracting. But he's still doing nothing but making Roach Circling. The Spire makes no sense. There is no way he'll ever have enough money to use that Spire. REYNOR is all in on Roach Circling, but his whole strategy relies on HARSTEM pushing into him and getting surrounded. This is what I call a defensive all-in. It's where you hope that the Protoss, and look at this from HARSTEM's vision. So look at it, gets the Oracle, all your vision's gone. HARSTEM in his mind goes, okay, REYNOR's taken a 4th, a 5th, he's droning up. He's trying to recover in a macro game right now. So what do I need to do? I need to take a 4th base, go counter pressure him, make sure we punish him for committing so much to that, not really getting any damage done. And if he moves out there and gets surrounded, REYNOR secretly sitting on 58 workers when any Protoss is assuming, oh, you're going to be on 80 drones at this point easily. I've got to pressure you. I've got to go put punishment on. If REYNOR can get a giant surround and ambush him, HARSTEM can just die. The hallucination scouts are a really good idea, though. HARSTEM, oh, he sees the Mass Ravager. REYNOR shows his hand. Okay, guys, HARSTEM sees it. Mass Ravager. REYNOR makes a North America of Ravagers and shoves in. Storm is not ready yet. The High Templar are a little exposed. Queen drop in the main base. He's warping in Zealots plus battery overcharge, which will eventually deal with those Queens. REYNOR very busy on the front. He won't be able to transfuse those Queens in the main. Storm looking pretty juicy right now, all over the Ravagers and the Zerglings, the Archons, the Cannons, the Immortals, destroying. But there is still a lot of Ravagers in there, and Ravager Bile can be very effective. Looks like the Queens have been deflected, 4 of them still alive. REYNOR felt like he couldn't wait any longer. HARSTEM was being too patient, and REYNOR felt like he had to go now, because even if he surprised HARSTEM, otherwise he would be behind for too long. So he's trying to make it work right now. It is a desperate all-in. REYNOR has no economy. He has no upgrades. He has no follow-up. HARSTEM has +2 Stalker, Immortal, Storm, Archon. The man is so confident he is sending a Zealot drop across the map. REYNOR tries to intercept it with Biles. HARSTEM says, nah, cheeky boy. There is no way I'm letting that happen, mate. The new 4th base tries to go up. It gets blocked yet again. REYNOR catches him in the open. Those Immortals cannot afford to go down. Nice, juicy Storm on the Roach Ravager. Those Immortals need to get back behind the Zealot Archon. More Zealots and Immortals coming in from the natural. This could turn against REYNOR. He's a little flanked here by these Zealots. He's got to be very cautious. Zealot drop going to the main base at the same time. Trying to focus down these Immortals, but I think with the Zealot Archon Immortal on top of him, he's taking way too much damage. The Storm going down. The Zealot drop is chasing the Zerglings. They're not doing critical damage. REYNOR's all in, does not find the mark. HARSTEM, beautifully patient there, did not risk moving out. He didn't give REYNOR the trap. If he moved out, he would have been surrounded and dead, but HARSTEM stays patient and ties up the series. All right, gang, going into game 3 of the series. Tied up 1-1 now. REYNOR going to 14 supply without an Overlord. That is a 14 Overlord, ladies and gentlemen. Is REYNOR, perchance, planning something special? It does an extractor trick, so he's going 15 drones. Why would you go for an extractor trick? Maybe he just accidentally built the Overlord as supply late. Okay, what's his drone? Oh, okay, so we're going hatchery first on the gold, but he sent it late. Oh, I think it gets there just in time, actually. But it's a 17 hatchery. Now, this is interesting. 2 games in a row, REYNOR is purposely not going for a 16 hatchery. I think it makes a little more sense in this scenario. The reason it makes sense with a gold base is I guess he just wants to have 16 workers on minerals as long as possible in the early game to get as many minerals as possible, because you lose quite a bit when you transfer down. The problem is he didn't double up his workers, so he's got 3 workers on this patch and only 1 on this patch. So despite him doubling up some of the workers, he actually has not fixed the mining in his main. So a bit of a suboptimal build for REYNOR, looking very dark style in terms of doing things a bit weird, a bit scrappy, but finding ways to make it work anyway. Okay, we're at the front. HARSTEM's doing a... Is this a gas first? Oh, it's got to be. Look how much gas he's already mined. HARSTEM's already mined 50 gas. So HARSTEM's doing a no scout opening. Oh, okay. This is going to get really weird. HARSTEM should be aware of the gold base threat, but he's doing a very greedy build. Now, that can allow him to just do a very smooth, crisp double adept pressure. He's going to scout. Where's he scouting? Okay, he's going to scout the gold. So he'll scout the gold base and then chrono 2 adepts and 2 oracles across to it, surely. Oh my lord. 9 drones? That's a big transfer to the gold. HARSTEM sees it, knows what he's up against. Let's see the response here from Mr. HARSTEM. Oh, he's going Stargate first. Stargate before Adept. Ah, okay, so that's a very, very crisp Stargate Adept. I'm pretty much the same timing, but you could see he's like, I want the fastest possible Oracle over there. Awesome to see. He's building the Stargate as far forward as possible as well. Warp Gate now starts up behind it. No doubt there'll be a second Adept behind this. Skipping the scout has made this very efficient for HARSTEM. Cool opening. REYNOR, of course, making link speed, pulling off gas, and now moving a drone down to secure a 3rd hatchery. He's going to break these rocks so he can get out behind the minerals to defend. An early creep tumor, a very good idea. It's going to spread a bit further north, and then it should go around the edge and spread to the low ground so he can jump it there. I think that's why he's placed it right there. So the trick is you want the creep to kind of go around, and then that's also going to allow it to connect. Look at the way it spreads along the edge. Beautiful. Really well done there by REYNOR. Gives him a lot of options in where he wants to spread that creep. That being said, there's 2 adepts here. 3rd queen is about to come out of this base in about 10 seconds. These adepts... Oh my gosh! HARSTEM! Oh no, HARSTEM! His adepts were desynced, so he accidentally let the first one finish, only cancel the second one. It's going to take a lot of damage on that adept. She's going to be down to about 20 hit points. And there we go. 25 hit points. And the adepts can now join up, but miss micro for HARSTEM for sure. Oracle is coming in. It is going to be a very fast Oracle into a very quick second Oracle behind it. Queens don't do that much damage compared to, say, a Spore Crawler. He's still going to lose 2 drones, make it 3. Nice damage for HARSTEM. HARSTEM's up 6 workers, and he's got a 3rd base on the way behind it. So he's doing a good job of keeping some pressure up, but, uh-oh, gets caught by the Zerglings. That's a great catch for REYNOR. REYNOR shutting down these adepts is awesome. Gets rid of one of the adepts. The other one might make it back to safety, especially with an Oracle helping to guard it. Second Oracle does go in. Oh, but he wasn't watching, rallying it into the queens and not microing it. HARSTEM's multitasking, failing him. That's why you should rally it to here. So if you're not watching, you will have to grab it from the rally point and send it in. But if you rally it in and you're not watching, obviously you take a lot of damage and it really slows you down. HARSTEM's still up 3 workers, which is great. If you look at the income tab though, gold-based minerals makes up for it. Evo chambers on the way, spores in every single base going down, and all things considered, REYNOR's gotten by this early game without too much damage. He's building lots of drones, building an Overlord. That Overlord will get pushed off the pillar. If REYNOR runs it up to the left, he might get it out of there, but HARSTEM realizes and does move that to make sure the Overlord goes down. Overlord's diving in the gold base. Watch out, watch out. Where are the queens? They just moved out to the left. He's walking his queens. He's doing a Ling Bane attack. Wait, no, he's faking a Queen Zergling attack? REYNOR just lost 3 more workers because of this weird queen maneuver that he's doing. He's got a bit of a creep schlong going out. He's also on a bit of a submission right now to connect the tips. He's trying to scare HARSTEM into thinking it's an all-in. Did HARSTEM react though? HARSTEM's still probing, no shield battery. I don't know if HARSTEM bad at scouting or HARSTEM 300 IQ and realized he was faking it. But it's one of those two. I'm not sure which one. We'd have to ask the man himself. But REYNOR's trying to play some mind games and it's not paying off. The other mission right now is to connect the tips. If REYNOR can touch the tips of this creep, that's going to really help him reinforce between his 2 bases. One little bit of creep on its own, not as powerful as 2 connected. Just got to dock the creep tumors together and see what you can pull off. Twilight Council and 2 more gateways on the way. A robo as well. 4th hatchery is there. Gas, second gas goes up. Okay, 53 workers for REYNOR, 64 at HARSTEM. I like that REYNOR's taking a fast 4th, but he'll need a macro hatch or a 5th base as well. Gold bases mine out very quickly, but they really give you a temporary boost of minerals. You got to use that wisely. HARSTEM right now is playing very defensive. He's got a few stalkers in an adept. He's trying to get rid of creep, but he's not really committed to this. This is just a I'm going to poke around and be annoying. And guess what? He's not even making blink. He's gone charge. HARSTEM is playing charge first, but he's acting like it's a heavy blink pressure. I love this. He's already got the gases coming up on the 3rd base. The 4th base is there. And even though it kind of looks like a Gateway Man style, it's actually not. I think we'll see Immortals building after an Observer. Oracles come in yet again. This mineral line has been a dangerous area for these drones to work. Spire on the way. REYNOR is playing fast and loose. He does not have a Roach Warren, a Baneling Nest, or a Hydroden. The man is literally building nothing but Zerglings and a Spire with some queens. This is incredibly risky, but this is the sort of fast and loose play that REYNOR is known for. It's why he can be so hard to play against. And of course, there's no idea. HARSTEM doesn't know this is happening, and he doesn't have Blink. His Stargate doesn't build any Phoenix yet. Cybercore getting focused by the Lings. Army will move to respond. Ling's trying to break the rocks in the middle of the map. He's going to send some Lings forward, and REYNOR's going to get his first knowledge of the fact that there's a 4th base already finished down here. Dude, not even having a Roach Warren with Roach Speed, like for safety or any flexibility. There's committing hard, and then there's whatever REYNOR's doing. REYNOR's so bloody hard in this situation, he's going to explode potentially. Like a tree in the frozen winter when the sap expands and it just friggin' bursts from the pressure. Oracle's coming forward on the gold base. Oh, Cybercore getting attacked again. There is a shield battery there. Oracles are going in. They find the 1 base with no Spore Crawler. REYNOR finds an Arc on the other side, though. REYNOR's Zerglings, very tricky. HARSTEM. Oh, God. HARSTEM didn't actually use the battery. Too many things to micro at once. The Oracles do kill the Queen, though. And they kill 15 workers. Oh, my God. He recalls in the main, so he will defend the Zerglings there as well. REYNOR causes a bit of chaos, but, dude, those Oracles made that a much better trade for HARSTEM than for REYNOR. And guess what? He must have seen a Mutalisk. Because Phoenix are building right now. He's seen nothing but Zerglings. That alone is a tell. He knows there's going to be Mutalisks on the way. He's building Phoenix. I think HARSTEM needs a 2nd Stargate and a Fleet Beacon, though. He's already building some cannons and batteries around his bases, but he's going to need a lot of... He's got no Blink. He's just got a few Archons and a couple Phoenix. He's going to try and do an attack. That's one way to do it. Say, okay, you could do some damage at my base, but I'm going to kill you if you don't bring those Mutalisks home. Muta's going to try and attack in here. Zealots warping into the mineral line. Not the best anti-Mutalisk unit. Understatement of the century. Muta's trying to do what they can away from those Phoenix. They will find a lot of probes over here. Good micro so far by HARSTEM. Zergling's going to go around. He wants to force a base trade, I think. But the Phoenix make that very dicey. The Mutas are going to go home now, realizing HARSTEM's defense is too good. HARSTEM smacking those drones. Nice job. If he had Roaches already, it'd be great. He's got Roaches building, but remember, no Roach speed. Not building a Roach Horn or Roach speed ahead of time is a big problem. He loses 11 drones over there. REYNOR taking massive damage. HARSTEM's been decisive. It might be recall o'clock. His recall is not ready. Oh, his recall is still off cooldown for another 50 seconds. I didn't realize it was so recent that he recalled into his main to defend those Zerglings, but I guess it was. He's trapped up here. It's a lot of Roach Ling coming down. He's going to try and fight off creep. Stasis traps blocking a few of those units. Good micro by HARSTEM, but what's he got behind it? +3 weapons on the way. He's making more Zealots, Archons at home. as well as some cannons there. He's got a good solid 4-base setup. All you really need as Protoss for a long time. And if he buys another 30 seconds, he does have recall available. Let's just select that Nexus so we can see the recall cooldown, 20 seconds. He's trying to hide behind the minerals right now. I wouldn't mind him trying to buy more time, but yeah, it looks like REYNOR realized he's got to stop this army from recalling. He's got to kill it all. So REYNOR will commit 100%, making Baneling speed behind it, cleaning up that army reasonably efficiently. The Banelings on the south didn't get very good hits, but overall units lost tab not too bad. The problem is REYNOR hasn't rebuilt his economy. His gold base is still bare. Those Phoenix pick off a few overlords. I'm surprised REYNOR hasn't got a 5th base. He's got to start rebuilding that and droning, but he's only doing it now. The game got incredibly messy there. Catching that army, I do think means this is very recoverable for REYNOR. He's got +2 melee. He doesn't have roach speed, and I don't know if he realizes he doesn't have roach speed. The fact that he's not making it, yeah, there's no way. Okay, he starts roach speed now. These Phoenix are causing him big issues. I don't know if attacking right now is going to cut it. So 5 queens on the map, so it's very hard to deal with these Phoenix. Biles trying to stop the lifts there. HARSTEM with some really slick Phoenix control. He's getting so many pickoffs right now. Ooh! Phoenix here trying to do what damage they can. Queen is going to go down in the south. The Mutas come in, but the cannons and the batteries are ready. Zealots clean up a bunch of Zerglings, unable to escape right now. HARSTEM needs to get his army together, though. He's got to group that army. Mutas get 4 probes in the south. REYNOR staying active on a 69 work account. He's got a Great Aspire. I think a Great Aspire is a pretty good idea, as well as the Adrenal Glands. But I would actually like to see REYNOR slow things down. I think he dismantled HARSTEM in the late game in game 1, and I wouldn't mind him doing that again. The Mutalisks take out 14 probes before they go down. Not too bad. 14 in total there. But he's still only up a few workers. No gas on the 4th. He hasn't opened these minerals up very well. I really want to see... Now 10 drones start up. It's a little slow for REYNOR. Don't get me wrong, it's what I want to see. But I want to see him pull into a defensive stance and really just look for scouting and map control. And yeah, having a Ling run by is a good idea, but you got to be careful. So he could surround the Zealots, but the Archons behind make that sword. Zealots coming in the right side and the left. Zealots from every single angle. REYNOR needs to run home right now. His Zealots on the other side get cleaned up by Archons. Zealots get on top of the Queens on that base. The gold base will be defended pretty quickly by the Roaches and the Banelings, but up here, those drones getting caught. REYNOR having a multitask right now. He's getting surprised. He's getting caught out. 19 more drones go down. 20. Oh, damn. Once again, HARSTEM finds the mark. That brings it up to 62 workers killed this game. I didn't realize that today we were going to see HARSTEM 69 REYNOR, and yet he is well on his way to getting there. Just 2 drone kills away from the fabled 69 worker kills. Not something you see every day. Normally it's the Zerg in REYNOR's games rolling Banelings into probes, smashing their economy the entire time from start to finish. Phoenix here are being a very good force. He can pick up Ravages. There isn't really any retreat there. Ravages are going down. REYNOR's tried to redrone back up to 70 workers. He's got 5 more Broodlords there as well. Phoenix trying to struggle as much as they can. I don't know if you have any mods in the chat, but if anyone's listening that's a mod, get in there. Your banner is called for. Got some erotica in the chat. Roach's going to be getting cleaned up here as well. Immortal High Templar, Archon, Phoenix coming forwards. The Broodlords aren't fighting right now. The Broodlords aren't fighting. REYNOR, he needs to stutter step those Broods. He's got enough Corruptor Queen to defend from the Phoenix. The Broodlords will keep him alive. He's lost a lot more economy here. Losing the gold base is not that big of a deal. He needs a 5th. Remember what I said, the gold base mines out fast. Whenever you play a gold base opening, you need to get a very early 5th base. It's 14 minutes almost, 13 and a half. REYNOR doesn't have a 5th base even started yet. Whew. Sorry for the interruptions talking about Twitch chat needing to get moderated. It was it's one of those things. I make little dirty inferences and jokes and references all the time. So sometimes people just come out and straight post their very, very bad fiction into the chat. What do you call it? Fan fiction? Just straight up 50 Shades of Grey, but with Mario and Luigi. And, sorry guys, not allowed to post that in here. We'll get... It's against the terms of service. I will get banned if I allow that. HARSTEM's got a 65 worker economy. What I really love is this shields upgrade. He's got +1, +2 on the way. Warp Prism's on the way. He's got a very big Archon Ball, 5 High Templar with Storm. Yeah, now that Blink is ready, if he can just have... Basically, he's going to crush REYNOR's ground army with Storm Archon. And then once there isn't that much ground army, he just blinks forward and just kills the Broodlords. There's 11 broods, so with good micro, what Reynor needs to do, he's only got 3 queens, so no transfuse, that's a problem. If he had more queens, it wouldn't be as bad. He also needs to mine these minerals open, which he's doing now. But he needs to stutter step the broods. Shoot, pull back, keep doing that sort of stuff. I do like that he's cleaning up these zealots very cost efficiently. These are really nice moves. Overall cost efficiency is very bad for him, but in of itself, not too bad. Archon dropped behind the mineral, 5 drones killed, and then he just goes to siege up in the main. HARSTEM doing what I would normally refer to as a blatant YOLO. He's just saying, I don't care about direct efficiency, I'm just going to shove it in. Archons behind the base do go down. Zealots in the main base causing problems though. Remember, Reynor is lacking mobile units right now. He's still relying on Zerglings. They have +3 and melee, so they're pretty damn good. They do beat the Zealots, I would argue, with Adrenal now finished, but this is the main army. That's the scary bit. Broodlord goes down. Viper goes down. Nice blinding clouds there. The Storm is not in range, which is a big problem. The Broodlords are doing pretty darn well. One more blink's going to be ready in a moment. There we go. He does blink forward. Storm lands on the Broods. You want to storm the Broodlings a lot of the time as well. 21 drones go down. Reynor. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I thought he was in trouble, but I didn't realize the Zealots were still in the main base. And I mean, that mineral line was going to go down. Yeah, Reynor just got overwhelmed there. HARSTEM playing a fantastic game of StarCraft. And I really think Reynor not getting Roach Speed was a big issue. You need to make a Roach Horn, make Roach Speed, be ready to swap back into Roaches. Not doing that really hurt him. And the value on the Phoenix also has to be noted. Those Phoenix got insane value. Let's go to like, I don't know, 12 minutes or something. Because I think most of the Phoenix were still alive at this point. Yeah, look at this. So we've got a 0 kill Phoenix, a 3 kill Phoenix, a 1 kill, a 7 kill, a 5 kill, a 0 kill, and a 2 kill. And honestly, I thought it was even more than that. To be fair, they did pick up some Ravagers and Banelings already, which then ground units killed, so they wouldn't actually have those kills themselves. But yeah, he really did a great job with those Phoenix, getting control of things, and really just amazing play all around to stop what Reynor was trying to get done. And Reynor, I think just missing a few times, like those Oracles diving in on his workers, way too many drones getting killed. And beautiful play like this. The Phoenix getting a bunch of Ravagers multiple times. Beautiful play by HARSTEM. He's up 2-1. All right, 1 game away from sealing the deal. Remember, this is round 1 of the knockout bracket. If you lose here, you're out. If you win, you get to beat some other really insanely good players to try to get into the top 8 of the ESL Winter Atlanta. HARSTEM looking great so far. Reynor in the bottom right side. Yeah, I think he was doing okay off the opening, even though HARSTEM's harassment was quite good, but 2 big things went wrong for Reynor. Number 1, he did a 300 IQ fake queen walk, which was a great idea, and HARSTEM just didn't take the bait, number 1. Number 2, even if HARSTEM had been afraid or took it seriously, he was already doing a 4-gate delayed Twilight build, which is actually very safe. So I don't think HARSTEM really cared that much, because he was like, dude, I'm making a ton of Stalkers and stuff anyway, like I'm you know, pretending I'm going Blink. So I'm fully safe. I don't care. So that was the first thing. The second thing was those Oracles finding his 4th base with no Spore in it. And then, of course, later on, I think we just saw Reynor basically a little slow to take a 5th base and drone up. Like, he went Broodlords, and I think the moment you go Broodlords, you're kind of like, hey, I got to go to 80 drones. Even if it's just temporarily to get a bit more money, and then I might lower my worker count, you know, let some of those drones die or get turned into buildings so I can get a bit more army for a Broodlord push. But sitting on like 68, 69 workers and trying to go for Broodlords, and then very late in that process, choosing to build 10, 15 more drones, I just felt like Reynor made that decision a little late. And then those Zealots coming in for the 3-pronged Zealot pressure was really slick by HARSTEM. We got to credit him with that. That was amazing. Stargate's on the way. There were gaps in Reynor's vision, though. That is part of what allowed it to happen. Reynor's not as good necessarily with his scouting as some other players, because normally the man has Zerglings in his opponent's face all over the map. And he didn't have that this time, so that's why he didn't see those Zealots coming until they were right up in his business. Oracle starts in the main base. The hardest of stems. HARSTEM. It's an extra pylon on the natural. It's interesting. I would always be like, I want an extra pylon to have more building space in the main. You got to realize with this building positioning, he can build friggin' 14 gateways on that one pylon. Like, you can fit so many buildings. His Stargate positioning is a bit awkward though. It could be down or to the right one space, I believe. Up and to the right or down into the left one space. It's not the worst thing in the world. Can still build a building there, building there, building there, building there. Alright, Oracle's flying over the third base. Overlords are popping out at the perfect time for REYNOR. He's immediately droning up. Oracle finds nothing. He could try to go for the lava. Oh, I like the way he's trying to catch the queens out of position. Took a few more hits there than is necessary, but not the end of the world. He's still healthy. Forge starts up for HARSTEM on 2 gas. 2 gas Forge. Interesting. Well, he's... HARSTEM. If he delays those gases even longer, this is a wild play for HARSTEM. If he delays them past 4 minutes 30, I'm really excited by his build. Could be a mass zealot build. Never mind. He's taking a third gas. It's just a gateway man. I think it'll be a blink build, probably, but it could be charged to start into blink, as he's been favoring that versus REYNOR. Oracle's gonna finally find themselves a couple drones. Ooh, get out. Get out. That's a lot of queens. Oh, there's no queens in the main? Oh, REYNOR caught with his pants down a little bit. 4 drones and a bunch of mining time. Nice damage. All right, is it going to be blink or charge? It's going to be charge. 4th gas goes down as well, so we're going to see a bit of a charge style yet again. Now, surprisingly, normally when REYNOR plays against Showtime... Oh, he cancelled something there. I don't know what he cancelled, guys. Was it a Roach Warren, a Baneling Nest? Cancels it, builds an Evo Chamber. Normally, when REYNOR plays against Showtime and Showtime keeps playing charge against him, he goes Swarm Host Nidus. Plays like Roach, just 3-base Roach Swarm Host Nidus. It's a really good style. Roach Warren does go down this time for REYNOR, playing nice and solid. Now that he's on potentially the losing point of this tournament, he's going to play it a bit more safe. He's got a good worker advantage. He's already gone up to 66 workers. It's a lot of zealots building up in secret, though. HARSTEM's going to hit him with the +1 zealot timing at about 6 minutes. Does he go with Archons as well? No, there's no Templar Archives. So he's just going to run across with like 10 zealots, I guess. REYNOR is supply blocked right now. Definitely needs a few more Overlords. I just don't see those zealots getting across the map surprising him. HARSTEM's already down 12 workers as well. So, yeah, seeing these zealots, immediately roaches are starting up. He did just build 4 more drones, though. He's trying to build an Evo Chamber, no spine. Guess he figures the spine can't finish in time. Oh, I like the Evos. Is Evo blocking his natural and his third? Okay, good response here to limit the surface area of those zealots. Roach is trying to pump out. He's actually very low on gas right now. REYNOR did not really start mining gas. This is how he had so many drones so early. So he's got a bit of gas income, but not that much. Oh, I like this. He goes into the main! HARSTEM's like, oh, you're walling in your natural and your third with Evos? I was actually, this was occurring to me. I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, could he just go in the main? And they're like, oh, no one would be smart enough to just go in the main. HARSTEM apparently has 300 IQ. He's like, if you're going to wall off the natural and the third, I'll just run into your main, catch a bunch of those units. And remember, this is not an all-in. He's got a 4th behind this. It's just, it's somewhat committed pressure. He loses 2 zealots, make it 3. That's 4 zealots for 5 drones, 19 zerglings, 2 roaches, 2 queens. Not to mention, he made him build a bunch of Evo chambers, which are very expensive in of themselves. So HARSTEM, I was like, yeah, it literally popped into my head. And I was like, this is not worth saying right now because it's like it's such a low percentage chance. HARSTEM sees an Evo wall-off, runs in the natural, sees another Evo wall-off, and runs up the ramp. But HARSTEM's so freaking smart, man. He recognizes there's no way. I mean, if you're going to wall off every base, sure, but let's run into that main base. 75 drones for REYNOR. I think it's still a good D for him. Like, he didn't take too crazy damage. He was ahead in workers before that, so he should be fine now. He's got 13 roaches. He's not making roach speed again, though. He really desperately needs that roach speed. And if his zerglings know about this 4th and he cancels it right now, that'd be so good for him. But REYNOR's vision sucks. He doesn't know if there's a 4th here. He doesn't know that there is a 4th there. He's only going in now at like 8 minutes, very late after the battery's finished. Still a successful run by potentially. But REYNOR's gone to 83 workers and HARSTEM's going to hit him. Oh, he's been so greedy. He's gone to 83 workers. He might deny the 4th base. I don't know if HARSTEM cares. HARSTEM's got Zealots on his 4th base. Archon Immortal looking fantastic. Honestly, HARSTEM might be able to just keep pushing in here. HARSTEM has to make a decision quickly, though. The Oracle's got to get in there. Battery Overcharge comes in. 4th base is taking damage. He's trying to defend his 4th base. HARSTEM's trying to get the best of both worlds right now. He wants to defend and attack at the same time. That is a risky proposition. The Immortal Archon's going to fall back. The 4th base survives. 11 probes do fall. But you know what? REYNOR also lost a lot of mining time. 2 drones. I think the unit's lost tab closes over this, though, because now REYNOR returns to 4-base mining, has a 5th on the way. That Zergling run by was very effective. Infestation Pit only now going down, though, so this is a classic REYNOR game where he is stuck on Ravager Baneling tech for a long time, and against a Protoss who gets a 4th base up, especially if he gets those 2 gases, you are on a timer. Because as Storm comes in, Archons come in, and their number grows, Ravager Baneling falls off pretty hard. Spinecrawler's building on the bottom. I do like that positioning. Nice. Would be cool to have like an Evo there or something, though, to block it off. Like if you have an Evo there and a Spine on the bottom, maybe. 5th base on the right side. 2nd Evo chamber coming in for REYNOR. REYNOR's building 5 more workers. Man's going to chill. Chill. I feel like at this point, there was a not that big army for HARSTEM for a while, but now it's getting to the point with Storm Finish that HARSTEM is completely unbreakable. He's setting up his Oracles in the middle of the map for vision, as well as a Zealot. REYNOR's got a Spire and a Hive on the way. He's going to go Broodlords yet again. I think that's a good choice. It is an awkward transition, though. If the Protoss is maxed with a lot of Storm, especially if they have some armor upgrades, which, to be fair, he doesn't. 1-1 range Carapace on the way for REYNOR. Says, okay, I'll upgrade that while I'm waiting. And he's built a lot of Roach Ravager units, which suck the longer this game goes. Queens will have to come forward to defend these Ravagers. One of them dies to the Oracles. They get revelated, and they do pull back. Zerglings accidentally attack Barry. They thought he was a changeling. He says, dude! Ow! And they go, oh, damn, changelings don't feel pain, and they immediately fall into a puddle of liquid if you even scratch them, so I guess you're real. Zealots do get surrounded by the Zerglings in the top right side. What's HARSTEM's goal? I've been talking about REYNOR and how he's trying to get back into it from the awkward, scary spot, but what about HARSTEM? Is he doing a big push? He's taking a 5th base. There's no 2nd Forge. There's no Stargates. He's just going for a big 10-gate Zealot Immortal Archon Storm push, which absolutely can beat Roach Ravager Baneling. It's all about how the engagements go. Massling, Roach going for a bit of a counterattack here. Where are the Banelings? Guys, he doesn't have many Banelings. He's only got 10 Banelings. You can't beat this army without a ton of Banes on the D. But REYNOR's going to try and get in there. Oh, this is good for him. This is really good for REYNOR. HARSTEM's in the doo-doo right now. He's in the doo-doo. He does have recall available cooldown-wise, but not a lot of energy. His main and natural do not have recall. Lings are in the main. Zealot's trying to warp in the natural. Looks like a Zealot and a battery will get overwhelmed. HARSTEM will take out this base, but he actually ends up going past it because of the Spine Crawlers. HARSTEM with a quick probe pull away from that base. I think the Banelings will get past it and keep doing damage, though. Big Storm's landing. Ravager's trying to hold him back. REYNOR has to pull back. His Ravager's getting jumped on. Uh-oh. Massive Psy Storms all over REYNOR's face. REYNOR taking some big Psy Storms to the face. He lands a few Biles. The High Templar have used up their Storms, but most of that Zerg army is gone. Roachling trying to retreat. Zealots do defend the main. HARSTEM somehow still has 42 probes. The meeting of life, coincidence? I don't think so. HARSTEM saving just the right amount of probes to still have some economy behind it. And he's got the natural down. That was the Hive. The Hive is gone. The Great Aspire did finish. The tech alone does not matter. If he can clean up this army, this will be good for REYNOR, but oh, it's a big if. That's a big line of Immortals. Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings coming in from all sides. If he gets rid of the Archon, Zerglings will reign supreme, but Zealots come in from the north. More and more Zealots coming across this map. It's a mass Zealot Immortal attack. HARSTEM had to warp in so many Zealots to defend at home. He's like, well, I guess we're doing this. Plus 3 Immortals. They do 65 damage a shot to Roaches. The Roach Ravager trying to micro back and forth. REYNOR is going to try and leverage that insane Ravager micro to keep himself alive, but the Zealots intercepting the rally from the main base, doing fantastically well. This hatchery over on the right side looking like it's in jeopardy as well. REYNOR finds himself in the muck, in a bit of spot of bother. He needed to have more units actually committing to the base trade and Banelings as well to properly bust through HARSTEM's defenses. I think if REYNOR went full base trade, it would have forced HARSTEM to recall and he could have turned it to his advantage. But the fact that HARSTEM defended with nothing but Zealot warp-ins is insane. It's not something that REYNOR was expecting with so much of his army committed to the other side of the map. And he never got a chance to really wear this army down with Ravager Biles. If he had Ravagers intercepting it when it first moved on to creep the very first time with 16 Ravagers, it's a different story. Did 6 drones just die somewhere, guys? I don't know. 52 probes for Protoss, 55 for Zerg. Similar income on both sides. But those High Templar gathering energy, as well as the budget fighting unit of Protoss, the Archon. Such a good unit. It's so good in low economy scenarios. You don't need that much minerals. You can just make Archon Zealot. It's such an efficient army. There's an Archon and a Prism that got recalled. I don't even know if that helps. The army moving south, though. Even though the Lings kill 14 probes, HARSTEM doesn't care. He's got a Big Daddy army right now. And Big Daddy's coming to get some absolutely ridiculous vengeance upon the Zerg. Overlord's going down. The Spine Crawlers do dish out some Hentacle Justice on those Zealots. The Zealots, no doubt, losing their religion a little bit as those Spine Crawlers penetrate them. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to really stop the advance. A few Zealots going down are a problem. Broodlords finally have more. 5 Broodlords are here. They can defend. But what are they defending? The Overlords that are retreating? That's kind of rough, man. This army extricates itself away from the Broodlords. It's going to take out this hatchery on the way out. REYNOR still has 50 drones, but he's got so little mining right now. 300 minerals a minute coming in for the Italian Stallion. The Dutch Protoss looking rock solid right now. He's as turgid as a river after weeks of heavy rain, about to swell over its banks. And that's exactly what he's been doing, is just overwhelming REYNOR. But oh god, the High Templar, the Broodlords, the Broodlords. Ooh, he gets out of there. Nice move there by HARSTEM. But the Ravagers looking for those High Templar snipes, gets one of them. Can't risk taking a storm to the face. REYNOR has some heavy lifting to do. Remember, there is Blink and +3. Stalkers can deal with Broodlords, especially with Psystorm covering them from Ravager Zergling defense. Hatchery in the bottom, hatchery in the top. These guys will start resuming mining at some point. But REYNOR needs to make some magic happen. He's got +2 melee Adrenal Zerglings. He gets in the natural, gets in the third. Maybe gets in behind that fourth, out of range of the cannons by going around the top. That could be effective. He just doesn't have any right now. HARSTEM. He's got his eyes on. His goggles screwed on tight. He sees that bile a mile away. Does dodge it. Corruptor comes out, guys. The Corruptor's job is to kill the Prism, I believe. Oh, it's a Storm drop. That's not a Zealot drop. I think he thought it was a Zealot drop. The High Templar doing what they can. He realizes this is a one-way trip. He's going to try and ferry them away a little bit. But he's got to unload them now. Unload them. The Corruptor's going to take it out in 2 more hits. The Corruptor's just turned around. REYNOR letting the 3 High Templar escape. He's got to grab whatever small victories he can. He can't be losing 9 drones and letting the High Templar escape. Big mistake, man. Oh, he's making +1 air weapons. That's a sign of desperation. You can tell he just feels like, I don't even know what to do here. I don't know, maybe I'll make air weapons so my Broodlords hit slightly harder. HARSTEM's back at 69 workers. And as we were hoping for, he is indeed. We're seeing a bit of that action in this series, guys. Yet again, the 69 workers seems to be the magic worker count on both sides of the equation. We've seen both players rock that number over and over again. Something about it. You turn it upside down, it's the same way one way as the other way. The inside out is the outside, as the same as the inside is of the outsides was. Speaking English only here in this commentary, as per usual. REYNOR's just out of gas. I think HARSTEM's got him. HARSTEM's got a fantastic killer ground army. If the Broodlords had Infestors and Lurkers with them, I think REYNOR could hold on and drag this game out. But he's just lost one of his 2 remaining mining hatcheries. His Banelings can't breach the mineral line. The Zealots do get deflected by his Roach Ravager, but what are you going to do? Defend with 9 Broodlords and 4 Queens? The moment those Stalkers choose to blink on you, you're dead. It's an awkward angle with this terrain here, but if he catches you in the open, he will ruin you. And he even Storm drops the Broodlords to get some damage. The Queens do transfuse most of that damage away. Zealots in the main base. Yeah, I mean, HARSTEM can definitely crush this army. He's up 40 army supply, +3 weapons, plasma shields on the way. The Zealots are going down there. Looks like Zealots ran in on the south. Another couple of workers go down. The +1 carapace saves a few of those drones. Very close to going down. They start regenerating ever so slowly. Fleet beacons on the way for HARSTEM. Now remember, guys, HARSTEM is one of the most slow players when it comes to finishing his opponent when he's ahead. Don't expect him to, unless the opportunity presents itself. Oh, well, he loses his Prism. But otherwise, he will just... Oh, watch out. Broodlord goes down. 2 Broodlords. Nice move. HARSTEM will take his time. If he thinks that's the safe way to win, he will build Tempest. He'll make more bases, more cannons and batteries outside your base. Does take a fungal, but he gets an infestor for it. You can't be losing these spellcasters each time. Another Broodlord goes down, and another one. Oh, and another one bites the dust, and another one down, and another one down, and another one bites the dust. Another one goes down. HARSTEM blinks forward, and I gotta say, this is a very impressive victory. Beating REYNOR in a weekly cup was news a few weeks ago, but to beat him here 3-1 in the knockout stage of a premier event is a fantastic achievement for Mr. YouTube man himself, the master of Is it Imber or do I suck? Beating Grandmasters with stupid stuff and apparently beating top pros with just really solid play today. He's been playing some fantastic StarCraft, so really impressed with HARSTEM. He is so far ahead in that supply. The Broodlord count is irreplaceable. He's on 4 Broodlords with 2 more morphing, but every time he loses them, that's real bad. HARSTEM even dodging the Biles. Lings do some damage on the 3rd base. Nice run by. I thought REYNOR would find that a bit earlier. That base was looking pretty undefended. Does finally get some damage. A few of the Zerglings get blocked by those Zealots. 6 High Templar on the map. Not that much Psy Storm available. Having plenty of Storm to blanket the Ravages and Zerglings is part of what allows you to blink on the Broodlords and take them down. Zealot Archon on that left side. 3 more probes building. Oh! Boom, boom. No +3 melee, so he doesn't one-shot the probes, guys. They nerfed Zerg, man! Broodlord's hanging out over there. HARSTEM's looking for an opening. Looking for the opportunity to strike. Broodlords. Okay, he sees where if he moves left, the Broodlords come into the open and then he pounces on them. HARSTEM's baiting him. HARSTEM's baiting him. Blink will be ready in 5 seconds. If REYNOR moves forward, any further forward, he's going to get jumped on. REYNOR knows this, so he pulls back. REYNOR pulls back preemptively. The Broodlords, one of them goes down. Even though he pulled back ahead of time, one of them still goes down. Zerglings cleanse HARSTEM's 3rd. Unfortunately, REYNOR's main is going down to Zealot Archon at the same time. There's so much cannon battery and Zealot over here. REYNOR's not going to get much more done. These cannons will hold on. The Ravages eat giant storms, and that's going to be the frontal charge. The moment the storms get in range, the Stalkers blink forward. They are trying to focus those Broodlords. Transfusers are pretty well microed there by REYNOR. I gotta say, that was an impressive defensive micro. HARSTEM's probably seeing his life flash before his eyes going, oh god, please don't throw. The Zerglings won this fight! They actually beat the cannons who killed his probe line! Oh no! Oh no! HARSTEM may be killing the tech. REYNOR may only have the dregs of an economy, but HARSTEM kind of lost the fight on the front and lost a base of economy and another base of workers. A bunch of unnecessary bad trades there for HARSTEM. I thought it was going to be good for him, but REYNOR with the Zergling run-bys, keeping his hopes alive. He catches the Archons. Yes, the Spire and the Infestation Pit go down, which means no more Broodlords, but there are a 5th one morphing right now. So there'll be 5 Broodlords and just Roach Zergling. That's all he can build. HARSTEM can still make Archons, and that's a big problem because the Archons, I mean, he's rebuilding his probes as well. HARSTEM's happy to keep rebuilding. He's got gases still mining. Even his natural has got a bit of gas on it. 3rd base has plenty of gas if he wants to retake that. 4th base, super fresh. 5th base hasn't even started mining barely. Zerglings once again run around the left side, but HARSTEM says, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, sorry, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I will literally embarrass myself out of this game. So he's ready on the 3rd time the Zerglings come in. Archons are going to smash. This scenario, Archons is such a problem. 5 Broodlords take forever to kill Archons. Stalkers blinking forward, Immortals and Archons taking them out as well. He's clearing up REYNOR's map vision. REYNOR right now has a little self-replicating tumor over there. He's got a few Ravages and a Broodlords. I mean, in North America of Ravages, a little huddle of Broodlords there. You know, it can be a ravenous flock of Broodlords when they're out there marauding. But when they're huddling behind the Ravages, behind any cliffs they can find, over any water, any sort of dead space where the enemy army can't chase them, that becomes a huddle of Broodlords, and that's exactly what that is. A desperation of Ravages, a huddle of Broodlords. Meanwhile, a chode of Protoss coming his way. We've got a bunch of Stalkers, Immortals, a single Archon, High Templar. So many High Templar, so many Storms coming his way. This is going to be a big issue, mate. It's going to be a big issue. Stalkers take out a Broodlord. HARSTEM pulling back. Twitch chat with their 300 IQ pointing out 1 Void Ray could probably end this. You're not wrong. There's only 2 Queens to shoot up, or 3 Queens for the Zerg. But look at the micro on the Broods. Only 1 Brood goes down. He's baiting him in. Storms, though. Oh, man, there's so much Storm available. But he's going to... HARSTEM will blink on that again. Those Broodlords are a bit far forward. There's not that many Stalkers available, though. Units lost tab is somehow back close to even. HARSTEM was way more efficient earlier. Still got the army advantage, though. I still do think he could win this. Once again, if he leads with Storms, I think it's so hard to deal with. And there we go! That's what I'm talking about! Stalkers are going to have to take it. If those Broodlords stay here, he's going to blink on it for sure. Yeah, he's going to go for it. Storm on the Broods. He blinks forward, takes out another one. Big Storm, multiple Queens and Ravagers getting popped there. Oh, juicy, juicy Psystorms. If the Immortals click on that hatchery for like 3 seconds, it will just die. Another Broodlord gets focused down. The blink forward takes out a second one as well. One Broodlord and a few Ravagers remaining. Reynor hanging on with his clutch micro, but he is now below 69 supply. He's got a few workers, long distance mining. His Ravagers are getting popped. His Broodlord's there, and Harstem's even building a carrier. He's realizing if I make an air unit, you are actually forced to leave this game. He's got it in the bag with triple the supply. He had to work hard for it. But that's just the way it is. When you're fighting Reynor, it never comes easily. The man has made more disgusting comebacks versus Showtime in his career than I actually feel like at this point it's some sort of weird abuse. Like the number of times Reynor has been 80 to 90% beat by Showtime, and then he just comes back with Ravager Micro, and you're like, seriously? Imba Reynor! Not even Imba Zerg, just Imba Reynor and his Ravager Micro. Unfortunately, he can't change the nature of numbers. And right now, he's fighting a numbers game. It's a maths game. Turns out 116 army supply beats 30, and Reynor does have to accept it. Harstem playing a fantastic series. A 3-1 victory. GG. Well played, Harstem.